So what kind of techniques would you use here? You need to use acceptance criteria. You need to use, again, very, very relevant and handy here to have those acceptance criteria defined, and also not just defined, but also by this time you would have enough of the, perhaps you need to kind of start validation of those criteria against the requirements. Are we in the right frame of mind? Are we in the right direction? Are we using it in the right way? So that's pretty much the kind of outlook that you would have. Document analysis, by now you would have some of the documents handy. You would start off with, for example, the requirements are already in place. You start with the high level architecture, the high level design document perhaps, and some of those other product attributes and product related documents also, like user manual, setup guides, and perhaps even the existing versions of some of those documents you need to go through to be able to align your requirements with those of the solution scope. Financial analysis would actually give you the perspective in terms of the cost benefit analysis, and again in terms of aligning your business case with the overall vision of the product. So that's a very important technique that you can try and use here. Item tracking, like we were discussing before, very important in terms of managing the backlog and then making sure we've got the requirements in a way that they're traceable, they're actually kind of prioritized, they can be monitored and make sure that it is built into the product implementation. Metrics and key performance indicators are again another technique that we can really use to assess where we are going. Are we in the right direction? Are we traveling at the right speed? Have we reached a stage where we can say we are progressing in the right direction as aligned with the overall business vision and the product scope and the solution scope? And then obviously the reviews of the senior management, the peer reviews, and the third-party reviews, reviews by regulators, auditors. All of these would really help us put the whole perspective of the requirements validated. And then risk and analysis and management gives you a good kind of handle to assess how the risks that you have originally identified before, how are they being addressed? Are they being monitored properly? Have you got the risk mitigation in place? And this is basically kind of a checkpoint for you to assess whether the risks that have been originally identified, have they materialized? If they occurred, if the events have got any impact on your product scope or the solution scope, and then how are you reacting? Have you got enough resources, enough kind of budgets, people, technologies, tools, and infrastructure and operations in place to be able to face those risks and implement the mitigation strategies for those risks? So very important to actually take stock of that at this point of time. Again, based on this, you can try and validate your requirements, whether you've got the right set of requirements, whether you've got it in the way it should be, and have you prioritized the right set of requirements which actually are aligned to the risks that you identified. So it's if it is something that is risky, if there's a business risk, there's a market risk, then you wouldn't obviously want to continue, because there is that potential impact that it could cause that could have a direct impact on the way you're implementing this